Hello and welcome to Patched. I'm your host Paul James, and today is episode 100. And audio listeners, you don't know shit about what's going on here, but video consumers, you'll be noticing things are very different. We're now doing this thing remotely, which we've done before, and now we're stepping up our game a little bit, all for you for episode 100, and then we'll go back to the usual shit.
Woo!
No.
Yeah, 100.
Go us. Yes, Damo's got this great setup behind him. Just trying to decorate a little bit beforehand.
I'm gonna do something different every time we do this now. I'm gonna raise the stakes here.
That has me interested in Keen. I can go with it.
It may. I won't say that. Keep it PG-13. That's all I'm gonna say. But representing the Bennies for our 100th episode, sponsor us, Force Fields,
along with Doonies and everyone else that we've hit up along the way.
Oh, yeah, this should be our 100th episode. Like a thank you to all our sponsors.
Do it from Doonies. Yeah.
Live from Dooney.
But yeah, Doonies will meet up with Big King Kong Long Dong, whatever his name was. We'll get him on board. He can join us for an episode, and we'll go from there. We're sweet.
24 nuggets for $10.
So as we were kicking around ideas for what we could do for a 100th episode, because it's not an updates week, Damo, you raised the idea of
100 gaming moments that we love. Like, I thought as a collective 100, but apparently that's too many.
That would break me with video editing, but also make the longest episode of all time. Yeah.
You'd have to...
We could just sit there and read out the IGN.
Yeah, we could have just ranked them off. Like,
I'm sure if I typed IGN top 100 game moments, I'm sure we could just sit there and read it. So we kind of whittled that down from there to basically have 10 each, where we're fairly sure there's going to be some degree of crossover. Now, how do we want to do it? Do we want to just go like 1, 1, 1, and then 2, 2, 2, and we'll just rotate through until we... Or just... I do my 10, Matto does his... Damn it, like, something like that. One person at a time?
1, 1, 1.
Yeah, the 1, 1, 1 things work, because then, like... You know, I don't know, like when I was being like, oh, Paul's talking, sweet. Oh, Damo's about to talk, skip that 10-minute segment. Oh, Matto's on, sweet. Awesome. Yeah, I don't want to be missed. So.
Yeah, that's fair.
And if it's JRPGs, you won't hear me for like 20 minutes.
Look, I'm sure there's a few that are going to feature. Damo, you've got a new dog.
There's a pup walking around. That's not me. I can hear a dog in the background.
Yeah, that's my dog.
Oh, nice. Oh, that'll be right. We'll go left to right over and over. So, Damo, kick us off. What's your first of your top 10 gaming moments? In no particular order, I assume? No particular order?
I have them in order.
Oh, you ranked them. I didn't.
Yeah, I ranked them because my number one moment isn't a moment I exactly love, but it's definitely something that stuck with me, and now I look back at it, I'm like, far out. That just doesn't happen anymore. That was amazing.
Yeah.
It's the Tower of Babel. So Doom episode 1, especially if you had the shareware, it was the last mission where you die. You beat the bosses, the big goat men that shoot fiery fist things.
I love goat men.
They come out, the big thing, you kill a bunch of the pink demons at the start too. Like, I can remember that whole like level off the back of my head. And then you get to the, this little green platform, you get warped to hell and it kills you. And then it explains to you that you actually have to buy the game to, keep playing. It's like,
early
so
micro.
you find out about cheats from your friends and you're like, I'll have God mode so I won't die. And then I'll beat it, and cheat codes didn't work either. So to me, it's just a moment I love because it was just like there's nothing you could have done. You're always screwed. It never happens anymore. As I said before, it was just one of those brilliant gaming moments that one catches you off guard, and two was freaking awesome. Like, it gave me nightmares. So congratulations, game.
Good choice.
Awesome. Yeah.
Good choice. Matto, what have you got for us?
Sorry,
are yours in order as well, or?
Oh no.
Good. I don't feel too bad then.
I had about 20 of them, and I thought, no, don't need that. But I'm going with Metroid Prime for the GameCube. The reveal of Samus.
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 Samus's ass.
Samus.
Hang on, which Metro? Hang on, sorry, the reveal of her, as in that she's a girl.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean Super Metroid?
Oh.
No, was it Super Metroid?
Yeah, like the old 2D ones.
Yeah, no, because I'd never played the ones before that. I played Metroid Prime on the GameCube.
Oh, so you're talking about how they kind of revealed it in Metroid Prime then? Okay, right.
Yeah, because you had to do 100% completion to actually see that ending. Because I think there was like 3 different endings. If you didn't collect all the missiles, was it the energy? No, health tanks. I can't remember. It's been that long since I played it.
I'm too rusty on that, but
Yeah, and then at the end when you finish, it just takes her helmet off. You go, oh wait, what? Because all these years I've been thinking that she was a guy. I realised that.
I like that the internet didn't spoil it for you up until that point, given that it was obviously known at that point thanks to the Super Nintendo game.
It was just 2003.
Or was it Super Metroid when they first did it, or did they actually do it with the original game? I think it might have been the original.
Yeah, but the internet wasn't, I would say, that big back then.
Or GameCube days, yeah, maybe not.
Because I had to print off about 20 pages of sort of where to find everything.
You're on GameFAQs, right?
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I had just printed off 20 pages of where to find every missile upgrade, every health upgrade, just to get to that ending. Because I said, oh, you should get 100%. It's a cool ending. Like, yeah, righto, I'll try it. I thought, oh, wow.
I think in Super Metroid, you had to get like 100%, but you also had to like speed run to not only get the gender reveal, but to get her in a Zero Suit outfit as well.
And then, and the Zero Suit, well, that's taken on a life of its own. So, good choice. For me, my first one was Final Fantasy VI, and I know, Matto, JRPGs and all that sort of stuff, but it's well known, not just across Final Fantasies, but across a lot of games. You've got this evil person that wants to end the world. That's a pretty common sort of trope in games and film and TV and all that sort of shit. And in Final Fantasy VI, Kefka actually succeeds. The world ends. And that moment was epic. It's not a good moment, but it's one of the best moments in a game. Like, it's hugely climactic. Are you complaining about spoilers, Damo?
Yeah, well,
the game came out in the 90s.
Okay, I've never beaten the game, but 2.
You don't have to beat it to get to that point. That's like the big kind of the direction changes. Like, your whole expectations around the game kind of change at that point.
Yeah. But out of all the moments you could choose, you didn't choose Sabine like suplexing a train.
I mean, that's pretty awesome. But no, the world ending, like the main villain actually succeeding, is pretty awesome, and it basically never happens. So
yeah, I do love a good villain win.
Because I mean, how often do they actually happen? I'm sure there might be others maybe that come up that we'll be discussing.
Disney are winning all the time, so it's new age kind of.
I mean, they do have Star Wars, so that's a win as far as I'm concerned. Less than a month till The Mandalorian and a new Star Wars trailer by the time this goes live. So, Damo, we're up to you again. What's next?
Oh shit! Yeah, so this is where my list gets a bit confusing. I remember the top 3 though. So
okay, so they're unranked.
Oh, that's right. So Fire Emblem, it needed to get a mention somewhere, and it was going to happen here.
And the thing is, it's number 2, number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 on this list.
Well, that was the thing, right? I had to really choose because it was like, ooh, like I mean, I could have gone through each Final Fantasy game and just listed, because they, each one has one of those things like Final Fantasy 9 and the Black Mages. You're in the airship and the Black Mages come, and it has that really ridiculously fantastic cinema scene.
You're talking about my favorite game ever. I'm aware.
Yes, okay.
And it may or may not come back later.
This is Fire Emblem Awakening, and it was the Lucina reveal, where like the mask gets knocked off, because you kind of have an inkling that she's someone, like, and that's like, oh shit, it's actually Crom's daughter. Like, penny drops and everything like that. But it's just this really cool kind of thing that, like, because there's other parts in the game that are like, ooh, but I really liked that because that was the one I didn't see coming, and it was my first time playing a Fire Emblem game. So that one got me because I was like, oh, sweet. And the introduction.
And now they've all got you. It's like crack to you.
Oh man, it's an addiction, let's say. But yeah, there we go. Nothing super duper fancy. I think a lot of people will agree with me that was a cool moment. The people that do play Awakening, people that don't play Awakening, they're probably just like, you mean the Smash Brothers thing? No, that was a great trailer, but no.
Matto, what do you got? What's your next one?
From Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, the one catchphrase everyone talks about: "Follow the damn train, CJ."
My God, I was gonna put that in.
Refresh me.
Put that in.
Refresh me. It's been too long.
You and I think it was Smoke. You had to go get on a train on your motorbike, and if you failed it, Smoke would always tell you all you had to do was get on the damn train, CJ. And back then there was no checkpoint, so you had to go back to the start, do it again.
It was so long.
And if you stuffed it up again, that's all it was, and you failed the mission.
Have you gone back and tried it out recently? Because obviously, like
I have.
They're available on the PS4 and all that.
Yeah, they've got checkpoints now.
Oh, they did.
Sucks.
Nice.
But it was funnier then they had, in Grand Theft Auto 5 where they have like little extra achievements you tick off.
Yeah.
There was one where there's a train with a bike, and if you got on first go, the achievement was better than CJ.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I just laughed. I thought that is fantastic.
Nailed
no
it.
one ever plays San Andreas. They go look and go, better than CJ? Who's CJ? And I just looked at it and thought, that is fantastic.
That is wonderful. Yeah, no, that was going to be a moment for me too. I was like, I don't know. It's funny because that was going to be the one that replaced this Fire Emblem one too. Because I was like, I don't want to. Nah.
So, do you actually have that one on your list in the end, or not? Not in the end.
No, it didn't make the list because, when you get to the top, like the list, and you're like, oh, but what about this? Oh, what about this? Like, if anyone follows me on Facebook, you'll see that I did a list of sad like moments in cartoons, kind of a thing. And then someone reminded me of like any Leomon death in any Digimon thing, and I'm like, shit.
You're like, good point. That is the second saddest moment behind Goodbye Butterfree.
Actually, what's more sadder than Goodbye Butterfree?
There's no such thing.
Is Ash sacrificing himself in the movie. That cuts deeper than Goodbye Butterfree. Like, don't get me wrong.
Okay, that's fair. That's
fair. There was a sadness over the entire school when Goodbye Butterfree happened, but in that fucking movie there was
hearts were breaking.
One dry eye. Like, even my old man was tearing up.
And he didn't know what was going on.
He hated Pokemon.
He's sitting back going, "What's a Pokemon?"
Yes, exactly. Anyway,
the Bill Cosby type.
With the Pokemon and the Pokey and the morning. Yeah, I know the one. So I guess I'm up there. I've got a string of 3 death-related ones in a row here. But the first one, and the game has 3 big moments that I was tossing and turning between, but I ultimately went with the death one. From The Last of Us, the very opening scene at the beginning there, when...
Not the rabbit?
Not the rabbit. The best.
Oh my god!
But no, when Sarah, Joel's daughter, gets shot at the beginning there and dies. For me,
that's the moment you love.
No. I said it's one of the best moments, like in a game, one of the best executed and all that sort of thing. Like, it was one of those things where
supposed to be moments you love.
Oh, don't worry, there's plenty of good ones. There's plenty of still good ones to come up. But
got one death one.
Yeah, I've got 3, but. And maybe your one is the same as mine, but yeah, like that Sarah's death one. I think for me, and it's going to be a trend that'll probably come up across a lot of the different things I've listed so far, like the end of the world in the last one. They're all kind of moments that kind of come along and they totally alter the direction or the way you may be thinking about the game at that point. Now, The Last of Us, like Sarah's death happens at the very beginning. It's like the first 15, 20 minutes. But they didn't promote that at all. Like, they didn't outline Sarah existed at all in the lead up to the game at all, and then they introduce this little girl. You start to realize, oh, she's the daughter of the main character. Oh, she must be like an important part of it, and then bang, she's dead. And then they cut forward all these years, and like that, like what happened there is an important thing for Joel with her time with Ellie going forward. So, but some other little contenders from that same game, rather than having a list that's full of Last of Us moments. There's also the giraffes bit. I think most people know the giraffes.
See, that's the moment that I would have chosen.
Like, that's what I originally had, and then I like toss and turn between those two and landed on the death. And then the lie at the end. So after you've gone through, like Ellie was about to get operated on, Joel decided, "No, I've got to save her." And then you're kind of walking away from the whole thing, having saved her, and she's like asking questions about what happened, and Joel kind of lies, and you can see this look on her face, like she knows.
You can choose to lie, can't you?
I keep thinking there was a choice there, but it's been like, well, what are we now? 2019. It's been like 6 or 7 years, and I don't remember. I'm actually planning on going back to it sometime soon. I think I'm going to do a full playthrough of the game before The Last of Us Part 2, similar to what you were doing with Doom until they decided to delay it on you.
Let us know what you do, because I'm just about to download it now.
It's free on
It's free on PlayStation Plus at the moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was, those kind of three were the big ones for me. But I think the death is kind of the one that I think ups the ante for the game at that point. Like, shows you how serious and how dire this whole world is. So that's the one that kind of got me the most. Damo, back over to you.
So this one came out of nowhere, but I was trying to think of what was one of my most loved moments in Mass Effect. And
I've got a
it was in Mass Effect 3. So it wasn't, Kane breaking into my room unannounced, unwelcomed, and making out with me. Okay. It was actually when you do the Krogan mission.
Yep.
And you successfully set up the breeding thing, and you see I'm pretty sure the bomb goes off, and there's just that beautiful stuff flying around and everything like that.
Yeah, was it the genophage?
Yeah,
it was
genophage.
Yeah, when you cure the genophage.
It was Morley who was with you to try and cure it.
Yeah. Oh, and he dies! Oh, shit, I forgot about that. He sings a song, which is fantastic, right? And it's a really sad moment, but
it is.
It's like he's making up for all his past mistakes and everything like that. Holy shit, this is taking a completely different turn from what I remember. But it was just a beautiful moment to see how happy. Oh shit, what's his name? Who's the main Korean guy?
Rex.
Yeah, how happy Rex was. He was I am just gonna have all the babies in the world. He was just so proud, and it was just this shitty game that's going on where everything is super sad, and that rocks up, and it's poor boy, but the Krogan can now have babies. It's really mixed emotions. I love it. I think out of all the missions, that was one of my favorites. Definitely.
Fair enough. Good choice. Mass Effect 3 will come up a little bit later on, I suspect. Nice work with the look. Matto, you're up.
Super Mario 64, that damn monkey taking your hat.
So that's a rage-inducing one, right?
Because if you don't get the hat back, you don't have it for the entire game.
Yeah, that monkey's an asshole.
And that monkey's is difficult to get at times. You just want to get your hat back because it just does not look right of Mario not having his hat. You just go, what the hell? A damn monkey. Oh, I hate that monkey.
That's fair call. It's pretty hateable. I can get around that one.
Yeah, that's it. I'll just go with that damn monkey. Or the penguins. We pick up the little penguin and then drop
yeah. Oh, well, I mean, we've all done that.
That's not really a moment. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Who has it? Good times.
Anything else you want to add for that one, or are we moving on?
No, move on.
Another death. John Marsden from Red Dead Redemption. The whole thing at the end.
Oh.
Yeah, I would say if there's a way for a death, that is the best way of going out. I reckon
it was like a hero's death, more or less.
Oh yeah,
it was pretty sweet.
It was great.
Well,
and even just tried to just see if you could shoot them all. It's not going to happen. You could shoot as many as you want. The ending's the same.
And I think we all did a pretty good job of shooting him, as many as we could. But yeah, eventually, it gets too much, and that's it. It's over.
I can't believe that. Oh.
Did I just spoil it for you?
No. Because my next one is Red Dead Redemption,
but a different moment.
It's the moment before he dies. it's when he comes home and there's the
right.
sun setting and it looks beautiful and there's a great song that plays and everything's perfect about that moment and it makes you love the game.
And then they turn him into blood puddle.
The part that shoots him. And
no, but it's the hero's death sort of thing. Like it's the whole redemption arc. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah. Oh, I swear to God. Oh.
This is perfect episode 100 material. Damo, you're up. Go for it.
That is it. That was legit my next one.
Oh yeah, right. Sorry, so you just went through it. Or what about it? For you? Like expand then. Sorry, because that was mostly me.
It's a beautiful moment. Like to me, you could have played Motley Crue's, coming home.
Alex Lloyd's coming home.
Home Sweet Home. Like that would have been great. Like, but it's just this wonderful moment where you've done so much and you think to yourself, "Grass,
you managed to get through that horrible segment in Mexico.
This is where it ends. Like I'll get to just go free roam from here.
You've
like
dealt with the gang.
Yeah. Everything's done. Like you're gonna, maybe there would be a couple of missions, around your house and you build up your house or whatever. I don't know. And it's just like, like it's just reprieve. It's just like the weight's been shifted, and it's just a glorious moment.
That's fair.
And your moment happens, and it's like, oh my heart.
Matto, go for it. Is there heartbreak involved in your one? Is it another monkey stealing hat?
No, it's
pretty heartbreaking.
Assassin's Creed 3, where the first 4 hours you play as a Templar.
Oh right, his dad.
Yeah, his dad. And you just go, oh.
It's the one in like the Native America.
Yeah.
Oh, I never played that.
Yeah, no, it's just for the first 4 hours you play as, was it Hethlum Kenway? Something like that? I think it was something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
And you just play for the first 4 hours, you're taking out people, gets a group together, and they get around the table and like, welcome as the Templars. You go, wait, what? What the hell?
Yeah, like I'm playing as a Templar. What the hell?
As a Templar. So what the hell's going on here?
And then they finally cut over to Connor.
Yeah, and then it just
wasn't
as exciting.
Give me a bill.
Yeah,
Give me a meal.
Yeah, that kind of throws you right off your game. I can appreciate that one.
Yeah, you just go, wait, well, what?
That's not how these games go.
It's like, hey, you never play as the bad guy unless it's a multiplayer thing.
Yeah.
Or unless, oh no, you did play in Rogue, but
it's not often. Yeah. No, I agree with you.
Right, you're next.
Damo, I suspect this has at least been considered by you if it's not on your list already from Final Fantasy VII. I did say there was 3 deaths referenced in a row. This is the 3rd of those. Damo's so traumatized by it that he appears to have frozen as well in video. He may or may not even be there. Eris, or Aerith, depending on who you are, when she gets skewered by big bad Sephiroth at one point. That comes out of nowhere. It's a bit of a surprise. Matto, do you have any knowledge at all of Final Fantasy VII? And Damo's back.
I've not played Final Fantasy VII for 20 years.
I have no idea what just happened.
Yeah,
that's right. Your problem's been resolved though. We were just talking about Aerith getting skewered.
Ah, yeah. Out of all the moments you could have chosen in Final Fantasy VII, that's the one.
Golden saucer with the chocobos. I mean, the whole bombing mission thing at the beginning is pretty awesome, and I recently got to play that in the remake. That was pretty sweet. But it is still Final Fantasy VII, the death that's the thing that I kind of keep going back to. So, yeah, I don't know. Like, it's a game that I love. It's not the best game in the franchise. We all know the answer to that is Final Fantasy IX. And we kind of accept that Final Fantasy VII, for all that it's not the best of the lot, it does have one of the best moments with that Aerith death. Damo, Aerith got skewered. What's your next moment? Is it from Final Fantasy VII as well?
No, it isn't. I'm not that big of a clone of yours. Mine is the first dragon fight in Skyrim, actually.
Oh yeah, pretty epic.
Oh, yeah. I hadn't really played a Bethesda game outside of Fallout 3, so I wasn't sure,
I mean, you played an inferior game. previously.
How
Because
to
the
do
Fallout
a
franchise sucks.
how to do an RPG made by Bethesda set in a fantasy realm. I didn't do Morrowind or Oblivion, even though I wanted to. I just never got around to it. So yeah, I was petrified actually, and then somebody was like, "No, it's just really easy. Like the NPCs will pretty much kill it for you." But I just remember like having that kind of fear and how this open world game is throwing crazy things at you the entire time, and then that happens, and it's just and then the dragon soul gets absorbed, and it was just like, this game is just going to be something completely different, like, and then you take all the dragon bones thinking, wow, they're worth so much money, and you can't sell them because you're at the beginning of the game and no one has that much money. So yeah,
All things dragon related in Skyrim are pretty epic. I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
Good choice.
Yeah, no.
I didn't have a Bethesda game in my list though, I don't think.
No.
So I'm glad you referenced it. Matto, what's next?
What's
The
next?
psychic boss from Metal Gear Solid.
Psycho Mantis.
Yes. We're there for 20 minutes trying to figure out why he knows what you're going to do until you get the old call saying, use the other controller. Use the PlayStation controller.
Yeah, right.
That was great.
What?
That's a pretty epic one, actually.
It is.
I'll give you that. I didn't have it in my list, but that's huge. Like story-wise, gameplay-wise, that ticks every box.
There scratching your head, just going,
How does he know this shit?
How does he know this? How does he know? How can I beat him? And then you get told, like, really? And what was the other thing too? He knew what it was on your memory card or something. Was that another
I
thing?
see you've been playing blah, blah, blah.
Crash Bandicoot. Like, hey, what? Hey, get out of here.
Yeah,
that was-
Kojima's a dirty dog and managed to... Well, he hacked us, I guess.
He did. An internal hack from a game.
Yeah.
And now he's making a game about babies in canisters.
Babies in jars or
Or jars, yeah, that'll do.
what do you got there? Just get a
Mate, this is in video, remember? Just go.
go get a charger.
Don't destroy the fantasy for people.
I'm glad now everyone else knows exactly what he's doing. He's going to get a phone charger. So yeah, I'm all for that idea. It's a really good choice. Big fan. My next one, and I think it's my last JRPG. I might actually just flip things around and come back to it later, so that you can so that we can talk about a game that isn't a JRPG and you're able to comment on it. Uncharted 2.
Yes.
Now it's not the best Uncharted game. That's Uncharted 3, but it's the whole train sequence.
Oh, is that the start?
I mean, I guess it's a weird one.
Half.
Yeah, it's kind of half and half. Like you kind of climb the broken down train, but no, specifically, the bit where you're on the moving train before it's crashed. So kind of halfway through the game.
Yeah, that's right. Because when you start the game, you sort of they're in the snow when the train's crashed.
Yeah,
and then you flash back to whenever.
Like that's a pretty cool sequence in and of itself, but specifically like the actual train going down the tracks, making its way up the mountain, and all that's just I mean, for its time, that was like this gameplay masterclass. Like they're showing, this is how cinematic games can be, and Naughty Dog was just doing it with ease. Like it took the entire 2 or 3 years that they were developing the game to actually get that one sequence done. Like there was a separate team working on that one little bit, whilst the rest of the team worked on the rest of the game.
Yeah, well, they could have got another team to figure out the shooting as well.
Shut up!
My favorite Uncharted game is number 6.
I can't wait to play it. Tell me all about it when it comes out.
It's Nathan Drake.
We've had 6 of them.
Home.
So we've had
LaBeouf.
1, 2, 3, and 4.
Plus there was
Lost Legacy, and then there was Golden Abyss on the Vita.
Oh yeah. So
Lost Legacy is the 6th one. It's a really solid game. Good call, Damo.
No. Uncharted 6, not Uncharted 3.9. Jesus.
Was this like a Windows thing where they just go skip 5 and just go straight to 6?
Yeah,
skip 9. You have to skip 9.
You have to skip 9.
No iPhone 9. There was no Windows.
No Windows 9.
Was there no iPhone 9?
No, went from 8 to 10.
Oh really?
Did Android 9 skip as well?
I don't know.
No.
I don't know the Android platforms well enough, but I have to assume they skipped it.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Uncharted train sequence, it was kind of more than necessary being like I like I said before, I don't think Uncharted 2 is necessarily even the best Uncharted game. I think it's Uncharted 3, but it was that sequence. It was like, oh, this is the direction games are heading in. And then all of a sudden after that, you see other games trying to replicate similar sort of things. Modern Warfare came out and it had the nuke and all those sorts of big moments. And, just things started to become more and more cinematic off the back of what Uncharted did with Uncharted 2.
Slow motion gunfights.
They really kind of set the bar nice and high, and others had to try and play catch up. So it always sticks with me for that reason. Damo, back over to you.
So here's one that none of you is going to have any clue about, but it means something to me. So it was Custom Robo Arena. So the whole game, there's things going on and, bits and jibs and drabs. And there's always that, chat about there's a huge tournament coming and all this. And you're like, oh, yeah. But then it happens. And it was awesome because I think it's happened. I'm pretty sure it happens after all the story's done. So it's been a while since I've played it. So
and we haven't. So please keep going.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure after the game finishes, it's kind of think of no, that'll spoil something else. But so you're in this tournament, you're running around, and you're just facing off against all the people that you fought earlier, and you're like, God, and you're just reflecting upon all the awesome stuff that you've done throughout the game, and how much of a better person you may have become at this game, or how much crappier you've become, whatever. It's it was just a great moment, I think, to end a game, to give it a bit of extra life. Story's done. Here you go. Here's a tournament that really will test your skills. So think about it best way to put it would be going to the Pokemon League, but how the anime did it, and Ash had to take on 50 people before,
and then lose.
You got to take on the Elite Four, but then he lost because he was kidnapped, which is he won Sun and Moon's tournament. So
finally, that hack actually won something.
He won the Sunstone too. He won the bug catching competition. Whatever. Over to you, Matto. Don't let this prick bring us down with these deaths and negativity.
Oh,
no more.
Speaking of deaths.
Actually, I've got one more. Whoops.
Some of the deaths in Mass Effect 3.
Oh, we're all going to touch on Mass Effect 3 then. Nice.
I think with 1 and 2, someone died. Yeah, cool. But with the third one, I think because you've been with them, over those 2 game spans, something like Morland, where you get to know him in 2, get to know his background, and go, hey, this is a really cool guy. And then he sort of sacrifices himself. You're just like, no. Or you can't, there are other choices you can do, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't shoot him. It just felt wrong.
No, that's fair. And then, you get that attachment.
Yeah, and then I think the other one that surprised me was Thane.
Oh,
that was really sad. It just
look at Damo's about to break out in tears. With
mate,
the PTSD's flowing back.
I'm confused.
Just when you see that sword through Thane, just
no. Jesus. Yeah. I remember him dying. Thank you for bringing up how he died.
But then after that, I just want to fight the guy, just kill him. Even if it was the renegade, just go whoosh. Yeah, screw you. That's a good thing. When you see someone kill one of your buddies, you just want to go, oh.
Yeah, you get angry. The adrenaline starts.
I'm gonna find you. But yeah, I think they are the 2 big ones. I know there's Rex as well. If you don't kill him in 1, there is that choice depending on what you do. It's sort of like these whole heap of questions that you got to do to get that.
Yeah, that's fair. Got to do particular things for it to actually happen. But if it happens, it hits you pretty hard.
Yeah, but we won't talk about the ending of it because it's not needed.
Well, does that fit in the worst moments in games list? I don't know.
I wouldn't say worse. I would say more disappointing.
That's fair.
Everything you do for that result, you just go, why?
Big middle finger to the company.
Yeah, just say, you did all those choices, screw you.
Yeah, they kind of butchered it, but he's hoping they've learned one day.
Going by their last 2 games, not yet. Hopefully Dragon Age is better.
Yeah,
Anthem dropped
we'll see.
$100 in 6 months. Their game.
I saw a great meme today just while we're on the Anthem thing. I saw someone was talking about. I bought a copy of Anthem for my kid. I left it sitting in my passenger seat. I came back to find my car broken into and 4 more copies of Anthem sitting on the passenger seat.
I did see one about No Man's Sky last year, which was like, parents check your kids' Halloween bags for dangerous shit, and it was just like copies of
No Man's Sky. That's a shame because the game's meant to be pretty good now.
It's good now, but like
it was pretty bad at first. I wasn't happy at first.
Yeah, the way they talked up, was like, oh, you get to do this, you get to do that, and you just repeat the same thing over and over. Go to the same planet, do the same thing.
Jurassic Park, record a session going on.
Yeah. So I may as well keep the we'll get all the Mass Effect 3 stuff out of the way, assuming that no one else has got Mass Effect 3 in any way. And mine is different to both of what you guys have mentioned. Mine is from the beginning of the game. When the Reapers first kind of arrive on the planet, they just start blasting the joint up.
Was that in London? Yeah, London.
Yeah. They kind of portrayed in the trailer, like one of the pre-launch trailers when they first debuted it. But then, the way they did everything after that was just perfect. And Damo, you were kind of hinting at it there, like the music, the way that music for that scene is amazing, and it still gets airtime in my car every now and then.
Gets airtime on other trailers for other things.
I mean, it should.
Remember that there was that trailer for like Designated Survivor or something, and they were playing that.
Actually, you're right. No, good point.
And it's like, that's Mass Effect. Like, what the hell? That's
You've
awesome.
literally stolen that from a game. Like, that's piracy of sorts. Copyright.
Plagiarism.
That's the one. Mass Effect 3, the kind of leaving Earth scene there where everyone's kind of loading up to get out of there, but the Reapers are flying in and blasting the joint up. And I think they kind of keep panning back to this little family, and I think specifically a little girl, and they kind of are they going to make it? Are they not? Are they not? Blah, blah, blah. And
yeah, a little kid.
They don't in the end. They get on the ship, go to fly off, and it's one of the ones that gets blasted down.
But you have those recurring memories of following the kid.
Yeah. That's good. That's a good point. But it just, the whole thing just kind of sets the scene for what's to come. And again, I've mentioned a few times with some of the games so far, like it's all these big scene setting, like game kind of changing moments that are the ones that stick with me the most. And that's why Mass Effect 3 is on my list. Damo, go for it. Bad timing. Sorry, man.
Yeah, no, that's all right. I was trying to be as quiet as possible. I'm pretty sure this was the Sun one. This is the Sun one. Imagine being a kid, cracking in the old Super Nintendo, Super Mario All-Stars, and you're like, oh, Mario 3, this will be awesome. And, you get the skills enough to beat the first world, and then you enter the second world. And all of a sudden you come across a tile you've never seen before. And there is a big, giant, glowy, angry sun that just starts fucking chasing you the entire
world. Yeah, the desert.
Oh my god!
Oh, I completely forgot about that.
It terrifies me. But my god, is it not one of the best fucking moments in video games? It's like, all I remember as kids, like fusing up all our lives, pretty much dying from there, and just like laughing our asses off at like.
And it's so angry.
And like,
it's pissed.
Have we ever stopped to think about why it's so angry? Like, what did we do to it?
Global warming?
Yeah, okay. That'll be it. Mario is actually a post-apocalyptic game.
Yeah, I do remember that there, because I had to, when you get that, I think the flying...
The P.
The P, yeah, and then you just fly across the entire level.
You to fly over the map,
and just land back down.
Yeah.
Every time.
Very end.
I had to waste 1 P just for that level.
Worth it.
So dumb, because like you get the tickets at the end of that game, you're like, I wish I had a fucking P right now. Oh no, right. I wasted it on the sun that I could have just jumped over. Like, oh shit, I love that thing. I think it was amazing, and I'm just kind of annoyed that it's nowhere near as cool in Mario Maker. Like that's one disappointing thing for me. It's just that sun is nowhere near as like I don't know, menacing, I guess.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Matto, what's your fourth, sixth, seventh?
I think we're up to
Six.
fourth. I don't know.
Seventh.
Six, whatever. Depends how you look at it.
It's all a matter of perspective.
I don't know if this is a moment. It's more of an achievement for Perfect Dark, unlocking invincibility.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
It took me almost 10 years to actually do it. It was Area 51 escape.
It's
on
been
Agent.
84 years.
You have to complete it in 3 minutes 50. And there was that
Which is
many
rough.
times. There was that many times where I was 1 second off, 2 seconds off. I was going, Then I realized you could actually. Then I realized you could actually skip cutscenes.
And everything was okay.
Yeah, because the cutscenes add on to your time, and I never realized that.
That's bullshit.
Which
Yeah,
is
no.
ridiculous. Like,
But I
but
didn't. I
that's the
accidentally
time.
pressed A. I was like, oh, sure, there's the way to speed this up. Pressed A, like, oh shit, I might be able to do this.
Skippable cutscenes.
Skippable cutscenes, and yeah, I did. And then I skipped the cutscene. I did it 5 seconds under. I was like, victory. And
Good call.
yeah, and then I never played it again. That was all. That was all I wanted.
I unlocked invincibility and I never used it.
I did once.
Okay, good.
And I thought, oh, this takes the fun out of it. It's not GoldenEye. It's not GoldenEye fun invincibility,
Yeah.
where you just go around and just shoot people with every single gun known to man.
Good. Then you really feel like James Bond. Yeah, slappers only.
The old sniper rifle butt.
So next up for me is a game from last year, God of War. When you get the spoiler alert, Blades of Chaos.
Oh.
Oh, Matto's taken off the headphones. All right, this is just you and me talking then, mate. I'll give you the thumbs up when it's good to go. Damo. So yeah, the when you finally get the Blades of Chaos, when you finally kind of sail down your little boat and you kind of know what's coming, the build-up's there, it's awesome, and then all of a sudden, they're there. And then the worst bit, you hear from Corey Barlog and all those guys afterwards, like, it was there the whole time. Like, and they actually showed you, they like very, very briefly at the beginning of the game, showed you that they were there.
Oh, really?
Oh, it's like at the very beginning when Kratos is kind of under, like in the little basement of the house there, and he's closing it just as as the camera kind of enters the room, and if you know what you're looking for, you can see him sitting there, but 99.9% of people don't see it because they're not expecting it.
Yeah. No, that was a really cool moment. Like, just I don't know. Like you can kind of tell it's coming, but at the same time, you're like, is he gonna actually do it?
Yeah.
Like, there's a part of you that's like,
don't do it yet, Matter. But it is one of those things. Like gameplay wise, it obviously changes everything.
yeah.
But yeah, even like it's that whole build up and like the character arc. He's been trying to avoid all this, but to get the job done, I'm going to need to go back and kind of get in touch with my arsehole side.
Yeah. For a butthole son named Loki.
There's another spoiler, and Matto, you should be so glad that you weren't listening to that bit either. But he's still giving the thumbs up. He's hearing it.
I can hear it a little bit.
All right.
I'll have your Rubik's Cube to keep me attention.
Righto.
Away from your
Well, that's me done with that particular one. So, Matto, you can put the headphones back on.
Okay.
Damo, what's your next one?
Well, I feel fucking terrible. But mine's Final Fantasy VII. The better moment where you
motorbike.
ride a chocobo.
Oh, yeah, okay, right.
Oh, see, that's the reason I actually can't ride a motorbike. That's why I've never got my motorbike license. Not because I'm fat.
Because you keep trying to smash people with a sword as you go past them.
I would just have headphones in. I'd be like, like fucking going off my nannies, or road rash. But oh man, I should have had road rash to this. I changed my
Just give it as an honorable mention.
Because that beautiful electric guitar. And breeding them, everything about chocobos. Final Fantasy VII made me love it. I even went out and bought like the chocobo trading card game or whatever it was on DS.
Oh yeah, right.
I love it. I think it was a great game. I think everything about chocobos is awesome. So
Square Enix have got us under their thumb.
They
Matto,
do. And
fire
I
away.
bet they taste delicious.
Oh.
too, so.
just like chicken.
Doom 2, head on a stick.
Go on.
Well, it's more something you have to. It's a clip and cheat you have to put on first. It's the final level, and you sort of go in the monster's head, and there's this guy with a. I think was the guy running it. I can't remember. And there was some guy's head on a stick, and he just shot it, killed it, and that was it. You're done. Level was over.
Jeez, I don't remember that very well.
Oh,
Like I downloaded all of them when they became available on the PS4 recently, and I've smashed through Doom 1. I just have I'm up to Doom 2.
No,
So
this involves cheating. You have to put on the clip and cheat to actually get through the wall.
yeah, right.
Because otherwise you can't. You just have to fight everyone, and you don't get to
Do
see
the
their
usual
head on
Doom
a
deal.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's just weird because I was like 10 when I first did it. Just went straight through. God, what the hell? Got a bad head on a stick, and you shoot it, and it just goes in pain. If you shoot, it goes. It moves on. You're like, oh, it's great. Oh, it's great. Oh, it's fantastic. I had a lot of fun with Doom back in the day.
And currently, go check out the Player 2 Doomslayer on the YouTube channel. That's this guy in the middle of the screen.
Punching Simulator 2016. That's what I've called it.
Good. Next up for me, bouncing back to JRPGs. I've got 2 to go. This is one of them. The Magus fight, or Magus, depending on how people pronounce him. Magus, though, if they're worthy of my time. There's just like the big battle there. It's still a stock standard kind of JRPG encounter, but the music for it, if you don't like... Damo, are you familiar with the bit I'm talking about?
I am, but what I need you to do is make it familiar for everybody else who's like, what game is this, Paul?
From Chrono Trigger.
Chrono Trigger.
From Chrono Trigger, the second best game ever made, as far as I'm concerned. Super Nintendo Classic. And if only it were on the Super Nintendo Classic, another black mark against your name, Nintendo and Square Enix. But anyway, hack your Super Nintendo Classic and make it happen. It's come on. So yeah, it's a pretty killer sort of moment there. It's like I said, a pretty stock standard kind of JRPG battle in all respects, but the scene, the location, and then the music. Go look up Magus Confronted on YouTube and just listen back to it. It's amazing.
That was the cool thing about that, because you could avoid the fight too.
Yeah, because it was doing kind of branching stories before everyone else was, really. So you don't necessarily have to do that fight. We'll just dive into spoilers again. It's a 20-plus-year-old game. Like Chrono, the main character.
By now.
Yeah, you should have played it by now if you're really worried about it.
No, don't worry about it. You should have well and truly played it.
Like Chrono can die at one point, and then you can either choose to leave. Like he's the main character. You can either choose to leave him dead if that's the case, and just kind of pursue the story from there, or there's a fairly lengthy kind of portion to the story there where you can actually go on this kind of long winding path that ultimately brings him back to life, and you can then finish things off from there. And that choice is entirely up to you. But that's a pretty cool moment. That game just does everything so well, but that particular encounter with the music and the lead up and the fact that he's kind of this super intimidating character for so long, like there's this real build up about him, they nail it. So
the rage that you're feeling too, that like the way he speaks about Chrono and everything, like he just somebody gonna get some spaghetti.
And it is one of the best games ever made, so go out and play it if you haven't already.
Yeah.
Damo, what do you got?
This is our top 3, isn't it?
This is number 2.
We would be down to, how many have I got? 1.
Oh shit! This is.
2.
Yeah.
I've got 3 left.
We've been talking.
Oh, 2.
Talking for so long. I've got 2 left as well.
4. I'm counting up my list now. Keep going anyway. If need be, I'll just cut one of them.
That's cool. We can do honourable mentions, but this one is the one that I thought maybe.
Oh, damn it! I put 11.
Already have chosen, but you haven't. Disappointing. This one comes from Pokemon Gold and Silver. One of the best Pokemon games outside of
the best
being able to use.
Yeah, I've played one since.
It's the best.
It's not the best. The generation wasn't great, but we're not here to debate that. We're here to talk about the best moment in that game, is your Mewtwo moment, aka walking into the Cave of Champions and fucking facing red. Boom! God, that was
Oh
awesome.
yeah, was blue in there as well? Was there a blue?
Not
Was that
that I
just-
know of.
That was just
Pretty
red.
sure it was just red.
Or was it just red? Well, it
Yeah.
depend on what game you played.
No, it was red regardless. Whether you played gold or silver, it was still red.
Or what was the other one? Crystal? Sapphire.
Or crystal, yeah, same idea. It's still just red.
Okay.
I don't know why they chose red, but
Oh,
Whatever.
those are the
Well, 'cause
days
you-
when you could.
red is who you played in blue and red.
oh yeah, I suppose that's a good point.
Your main character is actually supposed to be red, so that was awesome. Like
It's pretty epic though.
It's intimidating too, because like when he's the way he sits, he's got his hat down and shit, and you're like, who the fuck is this? And like, I didn't click, and all it was only till years and years later, like someone was talking about it, and I just remember as a kid being so angry because that whole game I tried to play with one Pokemon, Cyndaquil.
It's Pikachu!
Fuck it. Fucking wow. Yeah, I know, right? One. Because I couldn't cheat to raise my Pokemon. So I had no idea what to do. Because I
no
spent
miss
so
and
much
go?
time in. Yeah, just none of that.
No, but that was
I mean,
the duplication sheet was the big one in gold and silver.
Red and blue.
Was it?
Yeah.
Never knew how to do that.
Red and
one.
blue had missing no, and then there was the duplication sheet in gold and silver, where you
Oh, yeah.
put the thing in like the 7th spot of the
Yeah.
box, and then go to save. But while it's saving, you turn off
turn it
the
off,
Game Boy. Yeah.
Oh, those are the days.
No idea. Didn't know how that worked. I was worried I was going to blow up my game, so I didn't touch it. So, you know, me being the shit Pokemon trainer that I was, Ash equivalent, I will admit, back in that day, I just, used Cyndaquil the entire time. Even against water Pokemon, I didn't give a crap, like it was beating them. But
So you used to use one Pokemon, that was it?
I was just using the starter.
Oh, you're one of
You
those people.
Brute force his way through it.
Yeah,
So everyone was level 100.
one of
while-
those people, motherfucker. I got a super team now. I am a decent trainer. I breed to get the perfect
IVs and
God damn it, yeah, IVs, EVs, the
Totals.
works, bruv. I am king.
so you're gonna. I'm king. You're gonna go right down the well on IVs when it comes to Sword and Shield.
When it comes to Sword and Shield, motherfuckers, I'll be carrying you to those raid Pokemon. I'll be like, alright, guys. Okay, that's what we need to do. You need to use the following Pokemon. I will use a stab attack, and then we'll do the following bullshit. Yeah, boys, I ain't falling for this crap. I'm gonna be. Red taught me a lot. All right, Red taught me a lot. By the way, off topic, we still haven't been shown what the third evolutions are of these.
No,
two.
they haven't done shit. Maybe sometime soon. It's got to be sometime soon. The game's
They
like a month
fucking
away.
better because I don't know who to choose yet. I need to see that. All right,
It's
Adam,
Score
over
Bunny.
to
You pick Score Bunny. But
No, you don't.
Togepi.
Well, if
It's
fire-
Pikachu!
If it's firefighting,
Ditto.
you can eat a bag of
Magikarp.
Cheezos, all right?
Magic Splash.
yeah. Matto, go for it.
Right.
What's your ninth? As we've realised, yeah, we've got 2 to go.
The ending of Gears of War 2. When you
Oh, yeah,
get the
good.
radio, when you get the radio signal from
The
Mark-
best Gears.
Oh yeah, you get that, and you get that signal like, oh my god, he's alive. Look, what?
Yeah, 'cause that's right at the end, right?
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
exact end. It just credits. I think credits end or everything. Then you just hear this one radio signal just go. And he's saying whatever his
Yeah,
Marcus' dad was. He's like, "Can you hear me?" I'm like, "Oh my god, he's alive."
And that's how you end a game.
That is how you end a game. BioWare.
Happy
Yeah.
That was only one. It was
Yeah.
only one BioWare.
And unlike other Xbox exclusives, Halo 2, I will finish this fight. And then that's, yeah. Nice. But what else about it that, what is it that tickles your pickle?
I think it's just the excitement. You just can't wait for 3 to come out. You just can't
Yeah.
wait for 3 to come out. You just want, and it's something you don't see these days. When a game finishes, there's no excitement for the next one. I find that's what I find. You
No,
finish,
still more often than not. Yeah, you finish it and like, okay. That's
something like
'cause-
Doom. Like Doom, maybe because you just want to go and punch that guy in the face. But something like I don't know, Assassin's Creed, where you just finish it, you go, yeah, cool, whatever. The next one comes out 2 years, you're like, yeah, that's nice.
well, they don't connect. So with something like Assassin's, it's
Yeah.
hard to kind of get really hyped. Like, okay, I loved it, I finished it, but it's not going to lead anywhere because it's an isolated thing.
Well, one did it, and then just kind of went, yeah, whatever, fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Assassins has dug itself a big hole, and now they're just kind of basically standalone things because it's going to confuse us otherwise.
Yeah,
and they're probably confusing themselves. Yeah. No, that's fair though. Gears 2 is an awesome choice. My second last
moment in there too, but
oh yeah, go on. What is it? Because I mentioned other ones from Last of Us before. So, with his wife, with Maria.
Yes, and you see her like, oh
yeah.
And then you see her like, oh, she's alive. Then you just see the corpse. You're like, oh, that's.
And then she's gone. Yeah.
And she's gone.
Oh shit.
And she's gone. Yeah, that's fair. So for me, my second last one from Telltale's The Walking Dead. The first and only time that I've I think I might get pretty close when Ori and the Will of the Wisps comes out, but we'll see what happens there. It's the first time a couple little droplets have squeaked out of the eye while playing a game. At the end there, when you've got when Lee is basically telling Clementine, okay, you need to what is this?
You can say you cried, Paul. It's 2019, right?
So
when Winnie the Pooh, so it's okay.
When Lee tells Clem that he needs to kind of kill him before he turns, and then she's so shaken by that, obviously, because she's like 7 or 8, I think it was at the time, and it's this whole big thing, and then all of a sudden, like, you do it, and then you've still got to kind of wander on, not far. The game basically finishes 5 minutes later, but you've got to live with that for a little while, and then there's this big hanging thing that's going to, lead into season 2, and that was kind of traumatizing to have to go through all that. Especially you spent like 5 episodes, a good 10 hours or whatever it is, I guess, to that point, really building this relationship between those two, and then all of a sudden you're thrown into the shoes of this little 7 or 8-year-old girl who has to watch as basically like her mentor / dad, I guess, essentially.
Was it Rick?
No, Rick's got nothing to do with it.
Rick.
Thankfully, the television series has nothing to do with the video games.
That's good.
If you haven't played them, go play them. They're still they all hold up. They're awesome. But it's a little heartbreaking. Yeah, I think it is on Games Pass.
Yeah, I might get onto it.
You should definitely do it.
I will.
Damo, your last choice.
Number 1.
I apologize to any fans that have watched our top music moments by Pat.
Will we go do honourable mentions first or no?
Oh, we'll just throw the honourable mentions after.
Yeah, just say fuck them.
Stuff them.
It's learning the Ballad of the Windfish from Link's Awakening. I have not yet played the new one on the Switch. That's partially because I am going through some Switch repairs at the moment. I apologize. A couple of things have happened that shouldn't have. Thank you, Nintendo, for supporting me through this time. But no, learning the Ballad of the Windfish on Link's Awakening DX, Game Boy Color. It's the one time, when like Legend of Zelda is like, have you got this? And you say yes or no. It's the only time I'm like, no, I don't. Like, and I spam that button. I'm like, and I just love listening to it. I swear, I spent like fucking 5 sets of batteries just listening to that, like learning how to play that song. It was so.
And now you just jump on YouTube and listen to it, right?
No, why would I do that? That ruins the
mood.
Yeah, it ruins it. Like, I'm not gonna just, maybe I didn't realize I could do that, Paul. Fuck you.
Good number 1. Matto, what is is that actually your number 1 technically, or is that just one of the 10?
I think that is my number 1.
Okay, that is your number 1, right. Because I know you were ordering, but I wasn't sure how the ordering actually worked in the end. Matto, go for it.
Yeah, I'm the same as Damo. I've got a song as my number 1. It's from Saints Row 3, the final mission where the song of Bonnie Tyler, Holding Out for a Hero, is played.
Oh, I mean, if anything uses that, it makes that game or movie or whatever infinitely better.
You played it for 20 minutes, that song just still plays. You don't care. Like, I died that many times, I just did not care. Just listened to that song, I thought, this is the greatest final battle ever. And I died that many times, I just didn't care.
Yeah,
it was just so good.
No, that did wonders. Even like Kanye West's Power, like all the music in that, like Aerosmith, I Don't Want to Miss a Thing.
Rocket, that's in 4 where he goes on the rocket.
Everything.
It is good. It's
Nice.
fantastic.
Yeah, any game that uses that is worth the time, I guess.
It's just that final mission is just totally worth it. It's just fantastic.
And for me, my number one is kind of another soppy, sad one. Damo, you actually kind of referenced it earlier on from Final Fantasy IX, the whole Black Waltz 3 thing with the airship. Vivi is a character that I continue to this day. I mean, it's my favorite game, but I continue to connect with that little dude. And he's having a little identity crisis at that early point in the game there. And he's learning a lot about himself at all that particular point, and he's not even real, and blah 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 blah. And then you kind of have this encounter with the Black Waltz 3 as the airship's making its way from Dali to Lindblum or Lindblum. I don't know. We need to remake it so that we actually know how it's pronounced. That's my pitch to you, Square Enix.
Should have put the while you're there.
That whole cutscene there, as you're kind of zigging and zagging your way through the sky, making your way towards the gate there, and the Black Waltz 3 is kind of attacking the ship, and Vivi's just kind of standing there, kind of completely lost, kind of in his own little world, just staring off the edge there, and his friends basically kind of grab him and drag him back because he's about to get basically knocked off the ship there, but he's seeing all the other mass-produced Black Waltzes kind of exploding from the crates and stuff below and just falling into nothingness. It's all very, very sad. But it's by far and away my kind of favorite moment from a game. Like it's kind of like what I think, Damo, you might have been talking about before, but Matto, maybe you made reference it as well. Like when the rage kicks in, and then the Black Waltz kind of lands in front of you, and you're ready for the encounter. Like, all right, I'm gonna kick this dude's ass, and I did.
Oh yeah, no, it was me.
I'm gonna fuck this nipper.
So that Final Fantasy IX, like I didn't have everything else was kind of in a random order, but that moment is my favorite moment in a video game. So yeah, they're each of our top 10s, but as was referenced before, we do have a few honourable mentions, so we'll quickly power through them. Who wants to kick that off? If anyone has any honourable mentions.
I'll give definite honourable mention to Batman, the Arkham games, and meeting all the characters that you don't really interact with. I think I think Easter eggs like that are fantastic.
Calendar Man.
I love Calendar Man. How he
yeah.
into the game and stuff like that. Hush, meeting Hush, and you're never like, whoa, and that's what made everyone think that Arkham Knight might have been Hush. Like, I loved all the characters there that you had small interactions with, but they were just, and just kind of, it really gave you that incentive to kind of explore those games outside of what you were doing. Big hats off to that. Oh, and the scene where you're in Scarecrow's world, and the Joker's bringing Batman into Arkham. Oh,
yeah, the Scarecrow stuff is pretty freaky. That's a real tripped out sort of experience there. I love that one. Good call.
Yeah.
Any others, Dad?
That gets a little love. I think I had one, but I can't think of it at the moment. So if anyone else wants to go,
Matto, over to you. Any other last little ones that you can think of?
I was going to say the suicide mission in Mass Effect 2.
Yep. And obviously that can look so different depending on how you...
Yeah, it really depends on what you do in 2 for that end result. And
even like who you picked, like assigned to the different jobs. Like if you're way off base...
If you pick the wrong person, see you later. They're gone. Yeah. I got devastated. I reckon I tried it about 10 times to try and get everyone out.
No, my first time got it right.
I think I got it on my second go, but then I just tried different ways to see what happens if you did this way, you did that way, and just see what happened. I think at one point I lost everyone and myself, so I pretty much failed the entire mission.
I was always curious to know how Mass Effect 3 actually kicked off if you're booting up a save game where everyone died, including Shepard, because he's been rebuilt once, but that tech's kind of...
I don't think you can play the third one.
You buy this brand new game, you carry over the save game where your character's dead, and like, sorry, mate.
It's just a funeral.
Yeah, I think you just start the mission again. Don't you start the mission again if...
Press F to pay respects.
Press X.
Yeah.
What was the other one? The Saints Row 3 dubstep gun.
Oh yeah, all right, but not the dildo gun or whatever.
Oh, yeah, I couldn't remember if that was. I think
that might be Saints Row 4.
Where you just walked around with a giant dildo.
Yeah.
I remember that. He's in a gimp suit and a dildo. It's great times that. And I think that's really it for me. Oh, and Turok 2's brain sucking weapon.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, good.
Yeah.
The cerebral bore.
Oh, yeah, something like that. I can't remember what it was. I was watching YouTube videos the other night just looking for it. I just remember going, oh, wow. It's not as gruesome as I remember, but those were old days.
That's fair. For me, yeah, a couple of quick ones. Final Fantasy X, the sending, when Yuna's kind of sending all the souls for of all the dead bodies for the kind of the first time, and how hard that is on her and everyone in that little town that's just basically been wiped out. That's pretty impactful. From Ocarina of Time, when you kind of approach Hyrule Castle for the first time, and there's the cutscene with Zelda kind of fleeing the castle and Ganondorf chasing after. That's pretty awesome. I referenced them before, Call of Duty, which I'm not a big Call of Duty guy, but Modern Warfare and Modern Warfare 2 in Modern Warfare, the nuke at the very end of the game basically just wipes everyone out, and that's the end of the game. And then the really controversial one of the no Russian scene from...
oh, yeah, the airport.
Yeah.
I think that was from 2.
Yeah, it was from Modern Warfare 2, yeah. And finally, would you kindly wrap this episode up?
Oh,
Bioshocks, would you kindly?
Oh, yeah, that's wow. Okay.
Have you played Bioshock, Matto?
I have.
Remember,
Where's that one from?
Would you kindly?
Oh, would you kindly?
Yeah, would you kindly? Yeah. Yeah, would you kindly do this? And every time they say "would you kindly," you've always followed through it. Yeah.
Yeah. And then at the end, you're just like, "What?"
Yeah, when the penny drops there.
Yeah,
I thought about that, or the Bioshock Infinites. There's always a lighthouse at the end there.
That made no sense.
Confusing.
But it gets exactly. It kind of gets really, really confusing. There's layers and layers. Whereas, would you kindly? It's this, as I said, like
it's the going thing through the entire game, and then you just don't pick up on it until you get to that end part where it's just written all over the wall.
And you're like, oh,
Wait,
right,
hang on.
yeah, hang on. And it all starts to come together, and then you have a horrible final boss encounter. But that moment itself, the would you kindly and everything around that's awesome. So those are kind of my final ones.
I got to score one more honorable mention really quick.
It's from Fire Emblem.
Hate me for it, but Final Fantasy X as well, Paul. The laughing scene. I fucking love that scene, man. I fucking love it.
Sorry, audio listeners, you just got blown away then.
Yeah, you get over it. Hopefully you're in your car on the Bluetooth and that just echoes and someone's like,
with the windows
in the car next door. What's so funny?
Windows down, you hear this. Oh, what the hell?
Oh, I love that scene so much.
The things we learn now that we're doing this thing all digitally, right?
Yeah, it's great. I got one more.
You'll give us a pass. It's episode 100.
Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Oh yeah.
Just
also, going to Canada in South Park: Stick of Truth.
Oh, it's even better in Fractured But Whole.
Huh?
Yeah, but also that too, yeah.
Oh yeah, same idea. Yeah.
Where they just build the wall. Yeah, wasn't it in 8-bit? Stick of Truth?
Yeah, it was.
And then you get bitten by a snake.
I can't remember if it was 8 or 16, but it was like an old school art style anyway.
Something. That was great. No, I completely forgot about that.
They nailed it. Super fun.
And then I love the Fractured But Whole when there's just a giant wall. The guys up there just tell you, go away, come back.
Go away, buddy.
And even like with the Stick of Truth, like the fact that because we Aussies had the censored version, like when they kicked that screen and they actually explained like word by word what the whole thing was meant to be, but with the crying koala on there, because of the fact that's censored, I think that's even funnier than what they actually portrayed.
I think even the name as well, like you put in your name, what do you want to be called? So douchebag, right?
Yeah, they nailed everything in that game.
Like, and even like the difficulty as well, when white is easy and black is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's in the latest one. Yeah, Fractured But Whole. Yeah. Yeah, if you're white, you got a really cruisy, easy life. Whereas if you're black, it's hard. And like you're walking through the streets and police pull over and bash you, which was like really topical and edgy, and it's a bit on the nose, but it's typical South Park.
Wouldn't expect any less.
Exactly.
And if you have any of these moments, please feel free to tweet any of us.
You'll
You
see
can
those.
happily at us.
And
You'll see-
disagree with us, and we will happily ignore you on your opinions. Well, I will.
Yeah, fair enough. You'll
Well,
see
first-
all
first
those
sucks,
Twitter
I'll
handles
belt
on the screen now because we've got this awesome new wrap around us. But for audio listeners, Matto, where can you be found on the interwebs?
Matto_Phil.
Damo?
That way?
At Tacos Talks.
Yeah, below. For me, it's Paul James Games. The website is player2au. Visit the website, player2.net.au. You'll find reviews and previews, opinion pieces, news, features, links to our podcast series, this one, as well as the Player 2 Pixelcast, which the most recent episode there was from E3. Holy shit! From PAX,
Wrong place, buddy.
PAX Australia 2019.
Or PAX Box, as some people call it.
PAX Box. There's a lot of people coming down with it.
Never
Apparently,
heard of it.
I've never had it, but
Me either. Had my immunisation thing. Got my needle. It's okay.
specifically for PAX Box.
Just a PAX one.
And when it comes to Dev Diary, the other podcast series there, our most recent guest is Brooke Maggs, who wrote the recent release Control. So she's from Remedy.
Ooh.
So go and check that one out on podcast
Go give that a
services
listen,
now.
kiddies.
Give them all 5-star reviews, all the different podcast feeds, because you'll help us get a little more exposed to people. And we all like some good exposure.
We like selling out.
Exactly.
If we have money.
You can hit us up on Patreon, where King Kong Long Dong has supported us for quite some time now, right through to episode 100.
Are they
You're a
still
champion.
there?
I don't know. Maybe I'm going to assume
Just
that they're
keep
still there.
mentioning him anyway.
Yeah, forever in our hearts.
Still the magic man.
Forever in our hearts. Early access at the lower tiers, and at the higher tiers you get monthly episode exclusives, so get on that bad boy. And we've already done the Twitter stuff. So technically it's not episode 100 because we had that phase at the beginning there where we were doing like episode 1, part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, but who cares? It's episode 100, so let's go with it.
Combined.
It has the title episode 100, so we're going with it. One last little thing, also keep your eyes out for the Player 2 Marathon, which is now only a couple of weeks away. We'll have to keep our eyes open as well because it's going to be a pretty rough 24 hours of playing games for those big, beautiful kids.
It's a tough job.
Trying to raise like $4,000 this year for some hospitals in that kind of Canberra, southern New South Wales region.
You put money in now, you got a chance to win Monster Hunter World.
Yeah, there's I've seen the stash of games. And it's still growing, but there's lots of really cool games that are being given away. So get on that bad boy. Any donation gets you a game for sure. And I'm sure that I'll be overseeing some of the social media business and making sure that there's some giveaways over the course of the time as well, just for engaging with the event, commenting, or whatever the case may be. So keep your eyes peeled for all that, because the Player 2 Marathon is an awesome thing, and you're going to be hearing.
Was?
It is November 2nd, beginning November 2nd into November 3rd. So about 2 weeks from now. Right in the middle of my Year 12s doing exams. I'm sure they'll appreciate my absence. But that wraps up this episode. Episode 100 is done. As always, thank you very much for watching. See you later, everyone. Bye-bye.
Stay classy, San Diego.
I don't even know where my camera is. Where is it? Yeah. Done.